At number 10 is the Party King's first selection animation. I was able to narrow down all my favorite animations to my 10 favorites. This is a classic skin, great animation. It definitely develops the Party King's personality, and although this animation does have sound effects, I'm not going to include any sounds in this video. It's just going to be the animations alone. Some honorable mentions that didn't make the top 10 were all the Primal Sleeping animations, the Pirate Warden knockout animations, the Clockwork King and Queen knockout animations. Number 9 is the Skeleton King's second selection animation. I love how all these animations involve either his limbs falling off or his head being taken off. You can see when you click him, he takes his head like someone would do with their hat. They take it off and bow. He just takes his entire head off along with his crown and bows to you. At number 8 is the Autumn Queen's second selection animation. I've been sleeping on this animation for a while. I've always pointed out how when the Autumn Queen is attacking, there are leaves blowing off the back of her cape, but I really didn't take much notice of this selection animation. I love how all the leaves blow off her cape. If she just spun around, that would be really boring, but they added the leaves blowing off her cape. Although it's nothing super flashy, this is still an amazing animation. At number 7 is the Warrior Warden selection animation. I love the way he interacts with his staff. It's some kind of tiger staff, but he's synchronized with it perfectly. When he throws it up in the air, it comes back down and he lands on it and rides around on it, kind of like a surfboard. The main reason I like this is because I like these skins that interact with either their animals or their weapons that they have. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I also just love the design of the Warrior Warden. You could have a great skin, but without any animations, I probably wouldn't buy it. For example, the Fierce King is not a bad design, but there are no custom animations for the Fierce King. And there are some skins that you'll see later on that have excellent animations, but not so good designs. At number 6, it's very similar to the Warrior Warden. It's the Shadow Warden's animation. This one is kind of similar in the way he interacts with his book, and I also love how his staff is also involved in this, how it has the big eyeball and it's following the book as it flies around the Shadow Warden. When you're buying a skin, you want to look for both a great design and great animations, which is why I wanted to rank these skins based on their animations. Number 5 is the Beat King selection animation. This animation also has sound effects like the Party King, but we're not going to show him. You can just feel his personality as he plays his guitar and he's jumping around and spinning around. It's a great animation, perfectly fits the theme of this skin. It's a very flashy skin and a very flashy animation. And the Royal Champion comes in at number 4 with the Primal Champion selection animation. This is one of the longest selection animations in the game, but I love the way she interacts with her turtle. Like I was saying with the Warrior Warden, when these skins interact with their animals or their weapons, I just love it so much. You can see how she's interacting with both her staff and the turtle. The turtle pops out from behind her back. She takes it, throws it up in the air so she can catch it on her arm, and then she fist bumps the turtle at the end. That fist bump is just that nice cherry on top. And number 3 is the Shadow King selection animation. This is one of those skins where I'm not a big fan of the design, but this animation is amazing. It really develops his personality. He's an executioner, although he apparently only executes watermelons. But anyway, you can see with every animation he does, it's just developing his personality. He's looking for his keys. He's kind of paranoid about someone taking his keys, and then he does the neck slit kind of movement, which an executioner would obviously do. He's tossing his axe around. Even though it's not my favorite skin, it is a really great animation. At number 2 is the Skeleton King's first selection animation. This is such a funny animation. It's funny how it looks like he's dozing off and then he suddenly wakes up when he realizes you're looking at him, but then he tries to show off by holding up his sword and then he just kind of falls apart. Somehow Supercell gave personality to a skeleton which has no skin or no expressions really, although his eyes kind of move, which is not realistic, but Clash of Clans is not realistic. And at number 1 is still the funniest selection animation in the game, the Warden of the North Ground second selection animation. I don't know if Clash of Clans can ever make a better animation than this. It's so funny how he sets his staff aside to float there while he fixes his coat, and then as it's flying away, he jumps up and barely grabs it before it flies away. It's like when you were a little kid and you had had the balloon and you let it go, and then your dad jumps up and catches the balloon or something. It's just kind of relatable and funny at the same time. I edited this animation, I'll leave a link in the description, but I actually made it so he didn't catch the staff and it floated away just like you would have when you let your balloon go as a little kid. And I also ranked all the Grand Warden skins right over here, so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out.